Welcome to What She Said podcast, the home for real conversations with men about sex, love, and relationships. Welcome back to another episode of What She Said. Today is going to be a little bit different. Instead of us having one man, I'm actually bringing on a panel of men. That's how serious this discussion is. One man cannot solve this problem. We need help. What I've noticed amongst my girlfriends and I is we all are dealing with majorly petty shit. At least we think it's petty. Let me give you an example so you don't think that I'm crazy. I'm talking to my girlfriend about this delicious dish she prepared, and she put carrots in it. And her husband was not having it because he didn't understand, why'd you put carrots in this dish? And she's like, what difference does it make? You don't like carrots? Take them out the dish, which is how women think. We like, what are we talking about? It ended up being a serious altercation over carrots. Let me give you a personal example of mine. My friend and I were out and about at a club lounge, right? And he has water that he hasn't drank. So I drink all his water. And he said, you have no boundaries. What are we talking about? We talking about water? I have no boundaries because I drink your water? And he was like, yeah, you should have asked. And then my homeboy, I'm talking to him, asking him, what is it about women that disturbs you the most? And he says, when we go through the drive-thru and my wife orders just a sandwich and she eats my fries. So we talking about sandwich, French fries, water, and carrots. Maybe it's just me. So let's bring on our panel of men and get the conversation going. What do men really want women to know, and what really bothers them about women? I'm your host, Shanae Hall. I'm bringing my mom, Rhonda Frost. Say hi, Mom.
Everybody, I cannot wait for this dang conversation.
Man, all I'm saying is y'all be prepared, because what we are going to do next week, we're going to have a panel of women. I'm going to tell you guys what we don't like. But until then, let's get started with this conversation. What do men want women to know, and what really pisses them off about our behavior, which we think we're perfect, but obviously we're not. Let's go. Let's bring in our first guest. Hey, Gold, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine, and you?
Good. You got that good light over there, I see.
You know, that's the natural light coming through the window.
Tell us one or two things that you wish women knew off the bat that would help make their relationships easier, smoother for both parties.
One, that we are not mind readers. Two, that's hard, Shanae. I want to be a part of your life, not your whole. And when I say that, I mean, you know, when you meet somebody, I don't really want to come in and then you just be like, everything shift over to me. Like, I want to see where I fit into your life, and I want to go ahead and I want to help you in those areas to make it that way. But what attracted me to you is that you were doing your own thing in the beginning. And now I just want to come and take some of that load off of you. I don't have a third right now. Give me a second on it. I wasn't ready.
Okay. We'll pause. Hey, Drew, I see that you just chimed in. So, Drew?
If he only has three things or can't find a third, I can give you 30. Just
oh, well, damn.
He must not be married to a Haitian woman.
Don't get killed, Drew. We want you to live to be able to do the podcast again at another time.
I know.
Like, you don't want those problems, Drew.
So, Drew, tell us, hey, Ricky, I saw you just tuned in. So, Drew, it's on him to give us one or two. He's married to a Haitian woman, so he said it's on and cracking around the house.
I do got to watch myself here so I don't get in trouble. I think an issue when it comes to women, why women can't understand what they want to eat, where they want to go, figure it out before you get in the car. Don't make it my responsibility, so on and so forth. So that's definitely one of the issues.
What? You went to food? That's Mom, that's two for food. I'm about to, this is getting out of control.
I'll third that one now. Let me be a number 3. I'm a piggyback.
And my things are, I'm married now, so my things are more petty kind of things that happen with inside the household, or are things that transpire when you are married. Like, she's always fucking with the thermometer, or the thermostat on the wall. Like, leave the thermostat alone. It's either too hot and then she puts it too cold, and then she's too cold and she wants it too hot. It's just leave it alone. Let me handle it and the house will be fine. But she always got to fuck with that thermometer.
Y'all are mad petty. Ricky, what you got?
Me personally, I just think in a relationship, men should know their roles and women should know their roles, and it should be respected. Like, a woman should still take care of the house and a man should still provide. Like, shouldn't be always talking about what we gonna eat. I believe if the man is providing, the woman should be cooking. So we don't always have to worry about what we going out to eat. We got food at home.
Oh, goodness.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, goodness.
No, I'm just saying, it's like, I'm the provider. Like, you women, like, they want the man to provide. Like, every time you go out to eat, the man is paying. That's just the role. The man is opening up the door. The man is going to make sure the woman is looking nice. So now, what is the woman's role?
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, we're going to get into this. I got to let everybody, so we could have women that actually see men saying it before I rebuttal. I'm going to let that go. Ricky, but I'm coming back to you. Sean, he is a photographer. He's actually in Miami area, so he is around beautiful women all the time. From what I understand, you're single, right?
Yeah, I'm single. And I think if you don't know who you are or what you're actively looking for, then I think is problematic. I think I could say that swiping on Tinder in South Florida, I see a lot of women who are like, oh, I need you to spoil me. I need a man, take me out to travel and treat me right and stuff. And I'm like, well, what do you yourself do? Right. I'm not in a position to, take on your life stresses, your burdens, your financial, your social, your emotional things myself, if you are yourself not in a position to care for those things, right? Meeting women who don't know what they want or don't have anything to bring to the table, but expect a lot, I think that's problematic.
That was good. I think everybody on here will agree with coming to the table with something besides your handout. B. Cox. Okay.
What I feel like women should bring to the relationship before you get into it. Number one, you should be as happy as you possibly can be. You should be as full and as, when I say this, I mean in a really emotional way. Like, you should be striving to be your best you before you find, just like I'm striving to be my best me right now, you should be striving to be your best you before you jump into a relationship. You know what I mean? And that takes a lot of work, because it's easy to just fall into something, especially if you're an attractive woman and people are at you all the time and you got, your DMs are full and you have your choices. It's easy to just fall into something because you have a few options, right? But just because you have those options don't mean you should take up any bound of those options if you're not ready. So I feel like, number one, come as ready as you can be. You know what I mean? I know that sometimes things happen and feelings grow fast and people want to just act on them. You know what I mean? But I suggest that women and men alike, because that's what I'm doing myself right now. You know what I mean? It's trying to get to the best me before I'm in a relationship. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what women should do. Get to the best you. You know what I mean? Get to whatever you feel like the best you is. Not even what society feels like. You know what I mean? Whatever you feel like your best you is, try to get as close to that as possible. You know what I mean? Before you come into my life with some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to answer that. That's the answer to my second. But drop as much baggage as you can before you step on this new plane. You know what I'm saying? That goes both sides. That goes both ways, men and women. So to answer the first question, what annoys me about women inside of a relationship? I'm going to tell you what really annoys me.
Okay.
If there is something visibly wrong, like if you see something wrong, and I don't know that it's a problem. If there's a problem that I don't recognize, that I don't even realize that I created, right? And I feel your energy shift. And it's a negative vibe. And I come to you and I say, hey, babe, what's wrong? Tell me, what's wrong? I hate when women do, oh, nothing. Y'all do that all the time. Oh, nothing, ain't nothing wrong. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Wait a second. Our energy, your energy's off. How do we get to the, hey, my energy, your energy's off. I don't, all that, if there's a problem, you know what I'm saying? Let's deal with the problem fast, because I don't want no cloud lingering. You know what I'm saying? If there's a problem, I don't want to be like a couple of days later, like, you know, that day that you so-and-so, wait a minute. You've been mad at me all week for something I didn't know nothing about. We could have talked, we could have nipped this in the bud that day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't like them games. Like that feels very manipulative, like trying to manipulate the situation and create leverage. If you feel like, you know, if you feel like you have a problem, you know, let's handle the problem. You know what I mean? I feel like in relationships, women tend to do that. They tend to, and men do it too, I know, but women do it well. Men don't do it that well. Women do it very, very, very good. They manipulate emotions, and they may know they're not going. They may know they're going to forgive you in 4 days. You know what I mean? They already know when they're going to forgive you, but they're going to make you go through hell for the whole time. And I don't rock with that. I hate that. At the end of the day, even if you don't forgive me immediately, let's talk about it immediately, so I know what the problem is. You know what I mean? Like, y'all know y'all do that. That is the number one thing that completely takes me out of my element. Like, I hate that shit. So those are my answers.
Good. I like both of those, and both of those are understood. For you, what do you think that women should know coming into a relationship? And then what are things that bother you that you don't think women know that couldn't help us?
My beloved and adoring wife will ask for something small, a trifle. Hey, can you take the trash out? And I'll go, of course, no problem. And it'll get put on a list in my head, and 10 or 15 minutes will pass, and she'll go, all right, I'll just take the trash out. Wait. No. I was going to take it out. I just needed to finish this thing, and then I'll take it out. And of course, the trick is, she meant, can you take the trash out right now? Mm-hmm. But in an effort to be polite, or in an effort to coax me into an understanding that when she asks for something, it's understood, you know, as soon as you possibly can, including right now. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And if she goes, you know, I'd really love to go out on a date sometime, she means tonight. She means this weekend. She doesn't mean, you know, oh, like next month when it's convenient for you, can we go out? No, it's.
Well, maybe you're helping me out, because that's what I wish men knew. So go on ahead and keep philosophizing, because that's what women want men to know. If I say, hey, sweetie, what are you doing? That means tell me what you're doing right now and what you have planned for the next 2 hours, because I'm thinking that we might be able to hook up or, you know, go to dinner or something.
Sure. It's tricky, though. A guy, I think, is unlikely to go, hey, babe, you know, you want to go downtown sometime? It may be in his head, just like, hey, yeah, I kind of want to go out to the club. I want to go out dancing sometime. He's not saying, I need you to look up the times that the club is open, and then we need to go ahead and get on that list.
You know what? That's true. We do that. Ricky, I want to get back to you real quick, though, and expound on your philosophy of being traditional. Should you start out the conversation saying, hey, I'm a traditionalist. I'm going to maintain the household and the bills, but I expect you to do this, or do you just get into the relationship and expect people to kind of fall in line with your thoughts and viewpoint?
So sometimes it's as you get closer. Sometimes you don't think you're going to get as close to someone as you do. So you won't tell them exactly what you want because you don't know how it's going to work out. But once you see that you're getting close and you guys are spending a lot more time together, being around each other more, I think that's the appropriate time to let them know, you know, your views and your values of how you see things going or how you want things to go. And I think that goes on both sides. So like I said, with me, I have no problem taking a woman out, paying for things. But now I want to know, what are you going to do for me? I might ask you at dinner to cut my steak up. You know what I mean? And I shouldn't have a problem with that. Why you can't do it yourself? Like, so it's like, what? Like, I'm not asking you to pay for your food. Just, give and take. That's just how I am. You take care of me, I'll take care of you.
Have you ever asked someone to cut your steak, Ricky? Please tell me.
Of course. Of course I have. And I will do it again.
Okay, well, this is good. This is good. I want to ask you guys, when it comes to sexual needs and expectations, I know I have a lot of friends that, one of my guy friends who's married, he was like, Shanae, I leave her notes. I put notes in the refrigerator. I send her flowers. I do all these things. And, I might get some every 6 months. Where do you think that falls in line with opening up the conversation of expectations? How far because you can't really just start out date 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, I expect sex 6 days a week. We're not there yet. So at what point in the relationship do you think those needs need to be addressed to the women that you're dealing with? And we could just go in order. Gold, you can start, and then Drew, Ricky.
I'm different because I'll have a conversation with you on like date 1, and not in a way of like, oh, this is what I expect from you, but in general conversation. Like, I don't leave anything on the table for real. That I don't think, if we can't talk about it now, then we'll never be able to talk about it. And that's how I feel about it. And going into dating, I'm like, whatever you want to sit down and talk about, we got to get uncomfortable. We got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable already, because I think that that's where we all go wrong. It's like, oh, all these rules, or you shouldn't talk about that, this first impression and stuff. And if I can't come to you as me, then we probably not going to work out. So, I mean, even to what Galen was talking about, on that level, like me and my girlfriend now, I told her up front, I was like, if this is the person that I am. If there's ever an issue that you have, say it to me. It's you, me, and these 4 walls. Like, if I can't handle that conversation, then that's just what it is. And, like, I might be upset for a second. You might be upset for a second. But at the end of the day, you said what you had to say. I said what I had to say. And I think that that's a great foundation for 2 people to be able to come together and actually be able to communicate about any and everything, knowing that this person may feel some certain type of way about it, but they'll just express that, and then you move on from it. So I like to go in, just put everything out there. So yeah, it's no conversation off subject for me.
Okay, Drew.
I don't get it. I know that there's a lot of people that are hung up on, being honest or upfront or having difficulty speak about it, and that comes from upbringing or your personal experiences as you've grown up. But I think it's absolutely critical. I don't know how you could have an honest relationship with somebody. Is it on a weekly, daily, monthly basis, and that person's not happy sexually, or they're not getting their expression out, or they're not feeling satisfied in a intimate and sexual way. To me, it would be like embarrassing as a man is that I'm not able to satisfy my wife, but I need to know exactly what makes her feel good and what she's happy with. And we just asked each other. And, when it got uncomfortable because we were stretching the limits or boundaries, each of us just trusted each other and kind of moved forward with whatever we were interested in,
Okay, that's good. Ricky, I'm scared to ask you, Mr. Traditional Man. Bitch, when I say lay down, that bitch, that mean lay down. What you talking about? I don't know.
No.
I'm not going straight right here.
No, I believe whatever makes you happy, you should discuss it up front, sexually, so you'll know what you're getting yourself into, because maybe that may not be the person that you want to be with. So, because if you wait too late in a relationship and you found out that this person can't satisfy you or meet your needs, then you kind of stuck. So I believe you should let a person know up front, and therefore, if that relationship is going to go somewhere or it's not, instead of wasting each other's time, going back and forth what you can and can't do or will and won't do. And then that becomes a problem, and there you go, wasted time.
But a lot of times, and this just in general, like a lot of times when you're dating, you don't know that somebody wants sex every day of the week, or you don't know that somebody wants sex every 6 weeks. And so you have sex and you get into the groove when you're first starting, and then now you settle into your rhythm and things change. And you're like, wait, you were far more turned on at the beginning, but it's like, yeah, we're here now. So let's, every 6 weeks, how do you address it from that perspective of I needed more without damaging? Like if I'm telling you, I want to have sex with you 4 days a week and you're like, I'm too busy, I really got one. How should a woman address her needs with you without offending you or making a man feel like she can't, you can't give her what she needs?
Like I said in the beginning, it's easy to have the sex 4 times a week. It's fresh, it's new. But as you go on and having sex 4 times a week, now you're just laying there. Now you're not kissing no more. Not, you know what I mean? So you got to keep it, spiced up in a way, like the sexy lingerie or the man, smelling good with the nice cologne or, baby oil, whatever. But, you just got to, you got to spice it up, or it's going to be 1 time a week instead of that 4 that you used to. And there you go. That's a relationship problem.
Not the baby oil. Hold on.
Hey.
Let me go hit my Johnson & Johnson up.
Whatever you got to do.
Sean, because you're single, you're in Miami. Like, that's all every man's dream,
My last major relationship, we would have sex like 2 to 4 times a day when we were together.
Wait, what? Would you say that again?
Yeah, it was like 2 to 4 times a day.
A day. Okay, I thought you said a day.
Yeah. No, it was we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. And it would get to an instance of her or myself not communicating our emotional needs to a point. It's kind of just like, no, get off me. That's the faults that we all succumb to in our relationships. We don't know how to communicate with each other as well as we know how to communicate with ourselves. And sometimes we don't know how the fuck to communicate with ourselves, right? We don't know ourselves enough to be healthy in a relationship.
So I have a question to the panel in general. I'm hearing so much. And first of all, thank you all, because this is immensely helpful. But when it comes to sex and perhaps a guy is not meeting our needs and trying to consider your ego, what's the best way or where do we mess up in telling you that? I mean, is there a safe way to approach you to say, listen, you're just not getting it done?
The question becomes, is it a matter of technique or practice, or is it a matter of your attraction to somebody? I think there's no doubt that we live in a society today where we're all a little bit too sensitive, and we're always worried about harming somebody's feelings, which we should be, right? But when it comes to something like you're not doing something physically in a way that is not pleasing me, or you need to move your head this way, or you need to focus on this area, you need to just say that. And if a dude is not capable of handling that or gets offended by it, I don't know how to answer that, because to me, that's what I would want to hear. Like, I would want to please you. So I want to know if I'm not doing this right, tell me what I need to do. I'll adjust, I'll move over. That's a lot different than being physically unattracted, sexually or emotionally unattracted to your partner 6 months after you get with them or when you're married. That's a separate issue. That's obviously a bigger issue. It's a core issue to whether that relationship's going to be successful. But if a guy's just not hitting it right or licking it right or doing whatever he's not supposed to be doing, or he's squeezing too hard or whatever, or not squeezing hard enough, just tell them. Just literally say it, right? Just like a guy should say, yeah, your teeth hurt. Get the teeth out of there. More gums, less teeth. It's not that simple. But I think we're all a little bit too worried about saying what we need to say. And if you are in a trusting and in an emotionally strong relationship, that is not a negative. That's a positive in my mind, right? And I'm with a woman who, let's be fair. I could have sex every day. She could have sex once every 6 weeks. That's just the way it is. And we knew that going into it because we were honest about our sex drive early on. There's no doubt when we were dating, sex was a lot different than when we got married and had 2 children. A lot of that has to be driven by, I got 2 kids at home, but at the same time, we work towards that. Like she knows when I need something, I make it very clear to her. She may get annoyed by it, but she will come around. She knows she's got 24 hours to sort of find her way into that space, right? Because we talked about it. This is what and when she's like in the mood, she throws out a signal, and I know that's my cue, and it's time to get it done. And we're not always 100%. I mean, that's the whole thing. Relationships require a tremendous amount of work and effort. And, if you are with the right person, trust me, you're going to put that effort in. And if you're not with the right person, then you need to decide what you're doing. You're cheating them out of a fruitful life, and you're cheating yourself out of a fruitful life with somebody. Get out of it, or really put all the effort into it. But don't be squeamish about, oh, how do I tell a man how to eat my pussy? Tell him how to eat your pussy. I can tell you right now, your vibrator knows how to eat your pussy. Just tell him how the vibrator eats your pussy, and you'll be good to go.
Drew, thanks.
You're welcome.
If every man thought like that and felt like that and was that easy to talk to, oh my God, women everywhere would be so happy. I think you're unique, though.
Well, but I do think, because I dated for a long time before I got married again, and I mean, there are a lot of women out there that will not communicate what they want and what type of porn they like to watch, because they're afraid that if they're watching the stuff that you want to watch together, if that's your thing, right? They're afraid to admit those things. And why? Expose yourself. And if he's the right guy, he's going to protect you. He's not going to do the things that are going to make you feel more uncomfortable. But if you don't get there, it's just, damn, life sucks, I
agree.
Yeah. You're mentioning, how do I tell him these things without hurting his ego? I know Sean and Shanae have both heard me say this all the time. Man, almost every single guy I know is a delicate little flower wrapped up in a suit of armor. And that fundamentally, it all comes down to, all right, if you're unwilling to talk about it, then you really don't have a place at the table. Like, oh, okay, she's not doing this right. Did you ever mention that to her? Well, no, I just thought she'd know. When I just like, no, no, don't worry. Don't worry about it. No, thank you. And constructive criticism is a weird thing to offer in bed. That is for guys, and I'm sure girls, having to say, all right, now this is going to be strange, but you know what you were just doing? You need to completely turn that on its head. If this is a no-go, we really ought to know now, instead of 6 months later when I walk in this costume and I expect you to play your role. Like, okay, now I know. But it's
good point, Gailey. I mean,
is it a bunny costume, or what kind of costume is it?
No,
weird.
There's no Christmas story, Christmas morning fetish of that involves Red Ryder BB guns, thankfully.
Oh,
hilarious! My friend.
All right, the rest of the panel.
And I have to ask, because he has more stories. Anybody? I see you with the mimosa sitting there, fine dining. Okay, Sean, just run down what you think women should know.
I don't believe in dating multiple women at one time. And I think women are very open, like, oh, we're going to just do whatever. And so I think that's the issue for me personally, because I'm not dating you and you're actually active out here dating several other men. That's just a pet peeve of mine. Because, like, I got to spend money, I got to spend time, I got to spend emotions, and I might be weird. That's probably why I'm single, because like I have a very strict like guidelines of what I deal with and what I don't deal with. And if people don't like it, then I understand that. You don't have to deal with me.
What don't you deal with? What don't you deal with?
If I'm actually like trying to date you, I feel like with me, like let's just say, Shanae, like say you're trying to get to know a particular person, right? And so like say you're getting to know 4 or 5 different people. It's a rat race to see who can get Shanae the first. Like I'm not gonna be part of a rat race anymore. I did it when I was younger, but now I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Trying to say what? Oh yeah, so like actually trying to date somebody. So like say for instance, going on dates, because I feel like you can't focus on getting to know one person because like you bouncing around. And so like I don't do that, and I won't let somebody out deal with people like, oh, I'm single, so I'm out here having fun. Well, you can have fun, but just not, at the cost of, when you're ready to kind of chill and figure it out, then that could be an option for us to speak about.
So wait, at hello. So at hello. So we start dating today. Tomorrow, you expecting me to?
Oh no. See,
how
no,
long?
I'm not saying that. I would say I give you a couple weeks to kind of get your hoes out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like let them niggas move around. Okay, give you a couple weeks to get it together, but you can't just like. I feel like like women deal with dudes just because they can like. Oh, I want to go for free food with this dude. I'm out here buy a trash can. I love you, Shanae. I'm out here literally buy a trash can. Talking to you.
Not the free food.
I mean, that's what they do. Like, I mean, it's like it's no. I'm all about a vibe. I'm all about a connection. So if we don't have a vibe and a connection, like I'm not gonna go for it. Like I'm not in a space where like, oh, I gotta deal with somebody. And some people need to be. I think that's a gift and a curse. Like when you need to be around people, you need to be with somebody. Like people are kind of put over anything. So I think that's the issue. But like you said, so not the first day, but give about a good month or so to kind of because you don't want to jump with nobody at the first moment. Some men only want like women that's very, very submissive. And so, they want to kind of control you. They want to, that's why I say, Shanae, can a man control you? I think that's one of the hardest parts for you because like you're too independent and as fine as bad as you are, like you're not finna sit up here and like let nobody kind of try to handle you. I think that's kind of the issue. They're not even an issue, but that's their fault, not yours. But that's part of it, but like a lot of dudes, like they want women that's super submissive, or they want somebody that actually needs them. I don't want a needy chick. Like I don't want somebody that actually needs me to survive. I want somebody that can actually be a backbone with me. You know what I'm saying? Like not say that you need me for nothing. I need you for nothing. If you rich, I don't need your money. But like let's build together. Let's be able to, make this shit work together versus like, oh, I can't get my hair and my nails done without you. Like I don't understand how niggas that are millionaire celebrities, you got girls that don't even have a car. Like I mean a car on their own. Or they can't get their hair done on their own. Like I don't want nobody that need me for everything. I got enough people that need me. So like when I walk outside every day, I got a mama, a sister, a brother special needs. Like I got people that need me. I got a goddaughter that needs me. So I don't need an extra person that needs me solely. Like let me do for you because I want to do for you.
Dang, that's a good point. That's real good. I don't think that's been hit on like that yet. Mom, you want to say something?
Yeah, so I'm hearing so many different things. It really does become clear that we have to have the conversation early on because a couple of the panelists talked about almost knowing that they know that they're the provider type, that they're going to be the ones who come off the bat doing for you. And then I've heard other conversations on here that make it very clear, we don't want you coming in with your hands open, asking for stuff. So it almost sounds like early on, we make the mistake of assuming certain things as women, whereas we probably need to have the conversation like on date 2 or date 1, asking, where do you stand on these things? Is that true or is that too soon to ask?
I mean, no.
Don't do it on date 1.
Yeah,
I would date
think
1?
Drew said date 1?
Have some fun first. Don't do it on date 1.
Yeah, whoever that is, I agree with that person. Yeah, day 1, let's just have a little fun. Being a provider, I definitely agree with being a provider, but like it's different between being a provider and somebody that actually just needs you. Like don't come off like you say like everything. I seen a woman say one day, she was like, since I look good, since I gotta make myself look good for a man, he should pay for it. Like I don't mind paying for it, but that's not you can't assume that that's my responsibility. Like don't nobody pay for my haircuts. I get haircuts 2 and 3 times a week. Who paying that $150 a week? Who paying to get my manicure and my pedicure? Like I do it. You do what you do for you. Like you want to look good for yourself. Like that's a self. Like oh shit, I look good. I just got my hair cut. I just got my hair done. Oh shit, I'm on point right now. Like do that for you. And if I hear like that, huh?
What regarding the rest of the panel, what do you guys think about that? In terms of women coming in, do we go wrong expecting that you guys should cover our hair and nails and things like that?
What was the question again, Mama Frost?
I was just asking about the conversation about expectations. Like, do some women mess up by expecting men to cover, whether it's hair or nails or whatever, or come in paying bills or whatever? Do we mess up coming in with that expectation?
Right, and that's what I meant about when I said it a little earlier on about being a part of your life. Like, I'm not your whole. Like, I don't need you to need me. Like, you were doing your thing, and I saw you doing your thing, and I was like, damn, look at her doing her thing. I want to be a part of that. Like, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to help you with some shit. I'm going to see where I fit in so I can be a part of your life. But I want you to keep moving in the way that you were doing before I got here. So yeah, if I come to your place and your trash not taken out, I'm going to just grab it like, babe, I got it. Not even thinking about it. You don't have to tell me shit because I'm paying that much attention to you. Right. So I do think that a lot of times women do mess up thinking that, like, having that expectation of us without us knowing, it's just like, hold on, chill, fall back. Because I mean, the truth of the matter is that walking into this situation, neither one of us need each other, right? Or at least that's my assumption. Like, I don't need you. I see something in you that I'm like, yo, I want to be a part of. So, that's it for me.
I think that's great. Well, that's actually our time. Unless the gentlemen that remain want to throw in some, last words of wisdom, I think women will watch this and walk away with a little bit more than how we came into the situation. Because I know I certainly heard some things that remind us that it's okay to have a conversation if it's meaningful, whether it's day one or day two, because obviously things are being lost in translation along the line. We're not having, and for women, we have conversations. Oh, that's too early. You don't want to talk about that right now. Well, if I talk about it right now, maybe it'll prevent me some heartache or hardship down the road. So maybe not being afraid to have real conversations early on might save you more headache in the long run, is really what I heard from our gentlemen that were so kind and gracious enough to join us. Mom, do you want to add any closing words? Or Sean, do you have anybody that want to close out with anything?
I'm thinking there might need to be a part two, but carry on.
Vulnerability is scary. It's not a sign of weakness. Opening yourself up is a sign that you love somebody, that you trust them. And that vulnerability is the way to get those hard discussions out there.
Say the kind of building block off of Galen, that vulnerability creates foundation. So I think that that's the most important part, is for you to come as yourself and allow somebody to actually enjoy you and not who you think you can keep up a charade for, like, this whole time trying to make somebody happy. Nah, you got to be selfish in that way. It's about your happiness first, and then you work on everybody else. So
I agree. Drew, I know you got some words of wisdom to cap it all off.
Yeah. Don't fuck with the thermostat.
Thanks, Drew.
All right.
Mom, do you have any final words?
I don't. I'm grateful for you guys coming on to share with us. We are truly in a zone of trying to learn and do better and be better. And so you guys have been part of some incredible wisdom for us and our audience. So thank you.
Absolutely. Well, that's another episode of What She Said, every Wednesday, 7 p.m., YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. You know where to find us. And everybody's IG will be posted on this, so you can go and ask more questions. And if they're single, go holla at them. You know what I'm saying? They already told you what you need to bring to the table. See y'all later.
Bye.